Okay, guys, it's 2025. Those days of only going to the doctor for emergencies are over. No more waiting until, the night sweats turn to all day sweats or your fingers go numb texting, "I'm fine," Dan.
Yeah, I remember those texts in the old days, Mark, but no more. It's time to take our health seriously and get things checked out when we need to. That's where ZocDoc comes in. ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors and instantly book an appointment. You can filter for doctors who take your insurance, are nearby, and fit your schedule. Plus, see verified patient reviews so you know you're in good hands. ZocDoc makes it easy to find care for anything from primary care to dental, therapy, dermatology, urgent care, and more. And you can see real appointment openings, then book right on the spot. Most visits happen fast, within 24 to 72 hours, and sometimes even in the same day. Sessler, save them fingers.
Yeah, the other week I woke up with a sore throat. It seems like it happens to kids, happened to me, an adult. ZocDoc made it so easy. I just got a quick appointment. I was in there within 24 hours, and in LA, that's not always easy to navigate. And they made it as simple as possible. Bang, A to Z.
Think about that. Sessler's vocal cords were in danger. He's a podcaster. He's a very important person. Anyway, stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/heed to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/heed, ZocDoc.com/heed. Here's the issue, Mark. You and I are aging, and that it's hard to stop that.
Nope,
you know
it's
what I mean?
Problematic.
So we can't do the things like we used to do, which is stay up late at the bar, then go get a burrito, and then wake up 4 hours later, and everything's fine. We need something. How about this, Mark? How about what I've been using? Terra Origin, because adulthood, it's hitting hard. We're dealing with it. Middle-aged guys. My knees hurt. I hurt my wrist the other day. I punched a door. Shouldn't have done that. And now my wrist hurts. This is stuff that wasn't happening when I was young. So this is where Terra Origin comes in. Are you curious why I punched the door?
Yeah, I was going to say that's a different conversation. But, if you've got Terra Origin, I'm sure that you're going to be able to get your way out of that mess.
Aaron Judge grounded into a double play. Anyway, Terra Origin makes science-backed, clean supplements designed to help men perform better, recover faster, and feel good every single day. They make smart, no BS supplements that actually help you feel human again. And that's why this is the product that you need. The best part about Terra Origin, no fluff, no fads, just premium, transparent formulas you can trust. It's like upgrading your daily routine from survive to thrive. So whether you're lifting, leading, grinding, or parenting, Terra Origin helps you show up at your best. Visit TerraOrigin.com and use the code PODCAST for 30% off your first order and free shipping. That's TerraOrigin.com. Terra Origin. Feel better from the inside out. Monday night in the NFL, and He the Call has you covered. Is it time to take the Patriots for real as a true Super Bowl contender? Also, the power rankings are back, and I'll tell you what, Sessy's all over the map this week.
Well, I got in a little bit of trouble with the power rankings, and I get it.
It was a spicy meatball. It's time to heed the call. Heyo! Welcome to Heed the Call, an NFL podcast. I'm Dan Hanzus. Marc Sessler is here. Justin Graver also is here on the ones and twos. On Monday night, I'm going to try. Mark. I'm going to do my very best not to be a jerk.
Okay.
After Monday Night Football. I'm going to give it everything that I got.
What bee is in your bonnet?
To just try to rein it in. Okay? All right. After the Patriots 33-15 win over the 2-10 Giants, again, I'm going to try to be cool. I'm going to understand that any personal biases that I might have could be irksome to the broader listenership. So I'm going to just try to rein it in.
Sure.
But I do want to share the upcoming schedule of the New England Patriots. Week 14, bye. Week 15, the Girl Scouts of New Hampshire. Week 16, it's a group of WEI call-in trivia contest winners. Week 17, Jets. Week 18, they're going to play a collection of leftover cardboard crowd cutouts from COVID. I think they're going to get the 1 seed, the Patriots. Okay, I'm pissed. I'm so sick of watching the Patriots play tomato cans. And then I got to listen to Joe Buck and Troy Aikman and Scott Van Pelt falling over themselves, explaining to us how brilliant the Patriots are. And Mike Vrabel, he's about fun, but he's also serious. And Drake May, he's an MVP. And the Patriots, what an incredible team. And I'm on crazy pills because how can anyone make any type of true judgment that this team is a juggernaut when their actual schedule, here's their actual schedule, Mark. And I tried and I failed and I apologize. Mm-hmm. This is the Patriots schedule since week 5. Saints, Titans, Browns, Falcons, Paper Tiger Bucks, Jets, no Joe Burrow Bengals, New York Giants, with Younghoe Koo kicking the turf. That's an insane, almost unprecedented row of tomato cans. That you couldn't find that many tomato cans in your local ShopRite. And I just want it to be said that while I respect that the Patriots are 11-2, because there is something to be said for taking care of business, Cessdog, okay? Can we please keep it in perspective? Okay, can we please understand that what we're dealing with here is a team that has a schedule that is maybe the easiest in the history of professional football?
I totally disagree.
How can you disagree about the schedule?
That's my question. I guess I'm not going to lean on the schedule as a device to dismiss them. I think
I'm not dismissing them. I'm just saying.
But that's not like you're not wrong that the schedule, if you look at the teams you just named, is advantageous. But they're hammering these teams for the most part. They're well coached. They're young. They've got a bunch of really interesting young players. Their quarterback is a rising star, and just because they're gushing over Vrabel, and I know that you view me as one to prone to gushing over Vrabel. He's figured something out with this team, and it's happened really quickly. So I'm not trying to mimic what Aikman and Buck said after the telecast. I do agree that was a little gushy, but they're not. I don't feel that they're fake, and that we're going to find out suddenly that they're a complete fake operation. This is a good team that's growing together. I think that the one thing that Vrabel's done that a lot of coaches, we see it all over the league, they can't do it. They can't get this group of younger people that are 30 years younger than them to unify and play this way. And I think this team is I think it's annoying, obviously, because we just did the Patriots thing for 2 decades. But this, to me, and tell me if I'm totally wrong with the Mike Vrabel thing, I think that once in a while you hit on a coach that gets a second job and absolutely learns from previous mistakes. And you're the Yankees fan, so tell me if this correlation is totally off base. But Joe Torre coming to the Yankees, after a couple of failed assignments, Vrabel just feels dialed in. And I don't think he's disingenuous. I think he did a good job with the Titans, and Justin is here and can tell us his own opinion on that. But right now, he's at the height of his powers, and he seems, as a human, plugged into these players. And I think it's hard to connect to millennials and Gen Zers and all these people that are in the league right now, and he finds a way to do it. And the Patriots on the field are responding to that. That's my initial take to what you're saying. Everything you just said,
I agree with. And that's why, and I've said that on this show. I said that Robert Kraft and Patriots management deserve a ton of credit for they were nosediving with a bad hire in Gerard Mayo, and they said, you know what? The move that most teams would do here is give Mayo a second year, but we're not going to do that. We're going to realize that Vrabel was the guy we should have hired a year ago, and now he's available still, and we're not going to let him go to the Jets or any other team. That was a great hire that looks even better now because I also agree with that. I think what he's done clearly, and if you missed it, and what I'm referring to is after the game, and is a one-sided game that was over by the end of the first quarter for the most part. The ESPN crew is part of their post-game show. There's not like a ton to talk about when a game is that lopsided.
No, we know that.
So they start to fixate a little bit on just a shot of Vrabel in the tunnel waiting for each player to come off the field on their way to the locker room, and he's got kind of a celebration and various hugs and handshakes for all of them. There's no question about it that he is dialed in with this team. He's connected with this team. And I also agree with you totally that Drake May has real superstar potential. So yes, I think what it is, there's a lot of things obviously, but like, I think part of it is, I think the Patriots could be legit. I think the Patriots, have a chance, especially this year in this conference, to make a run. I think I'm more just frustrated that we've been waiting for weeks and weeks and weeks, now to see them play a real team. And, so all they've done is win 10 in a row. Like I'm sick of watching them play bad teams. And then people talk about Drake May as an MVP or the Patriots as a team that should be number one in power rankings and that stuff. For me personally, it has reached the point with their schedule, a historically soft schedule, that like I have to hit pause on any type of evaluation on them until we actually see them play a real team. And luckily, their actual schedule does tighten up somewhat. I think they're still a heavy favorite, Mark, to be the number one seed at this point because they come at it, they get a bye at a week 14 juncture.
It doesn't tighten up too much.
Yeah, week 14 bye, which is a tough spot to get a bye. But what happened was until like last week, they were also on top of the schedule, the healthiest team in the league until their offensive line and Milton Williams went down. But out of their bye, they get home against Bills. Thank God. Thank you, Jesus. I can't wait to watch that game.
I think Jesus crafted that plot yes. and plan. Absolutely.
And then they go to Baltimore, which you would think is a vicious assignment in December, but who knows about the Ravens this year? And then they close at Jets, and with all due respect to Connor Orr, the Dolphins, who they do struggle with the Dolphins, but it's Dolphins, of course, at home, because that's just been the nature of their schedule. So, this team at 11-2, I think it's very fair to say they're going to at least get to 13 and maybe even get to 14 wins. And it's a crazy turnaround. Like, and if you look their schedule, it flips next year and it's going to be a very difficult schedule. So maybe we'll talk about how it all evened out cosmically in the end. But yeah, they have taken care of business, and I can't wait to see them play real teams because the Giants are not a real team. If we want to talk about them a little bit here.
Absolutely. I think they're maybe the Patriots have been fortunate to run into not just non-quality teams, but broken teams. And for all the hoopla that I verbally created along with Connor about the Giants in the early autumn, they're a mess. And that's to my point a little bit. Like, it's not that I think that Mike Kafka is, we don't have a big sample size on him as a head coach. He did some weird stuff tonight. Not punting the ball when he should have clearly gone for it late in the game when you're down by like 15 points. What are we doing here? But you've got a shaky coaching situation. You've lost your top two running backs by the end of tonight. You're missing players all over the place. Your quarterback is learning on the job. It's a broken team, and your star defensive player is not mysteriously, but just he's been benched
for the second time in 3 weeks.
Exactly, and so what's going on there? Like that's
discipline, for discipline issues, and
right.
that speaks to a house that is not in order. The special teams was an embarrassment in this game, starting with Marcus Jones's 94-yard punt return for a touchdown. I mentioned the Younghoe Koo. Do you have Danny DeVito on the Manning cast reacting to this, Justin? Let it rip.
Amazing.
Oh, what? He just kicked the ground? What the hell Eli, it's like one of your fat 9-irons.
Danny DeVito on the Manning cast, Sestog, says,
strange.
"What the hell was that?" He misses the ball, and then the poor punter has to scramble for his life. He gets viciously sent to the ground, and then they ended up giving it not a missed field goal because he didn't touch it. It was a sack for some guy in the Patriots fresh off the practice squad. I mean, they are blessed in all ways. He gets a sack, his first career sack, I would imagine. And I think just like Danny Dimes tripping and falling on his way to the end zone about 5 years ago on a Thursday night football game was like the image of that lost era of Giants football post Coughlin. I feel like that's the snapshot, the Younghoe Koo miss, and then the shot to Jackson Dart on the sideline. What do you say? Oh my God, or whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like that is, Mark, the snapshot of this very, very deeply lost Giants season.
It is, and it's another year where the Giants, it's a different group of players, but if you track back, I was just thinking about like the Daniel Jones years and the Saquon years, like key players suffering injuries. Like we always point to the Niners this way, but like they really do seem to be a team that they lose key individuals for a chunk of time. And that's been the case this year. I think things changed a lot when Scatterbo went out.
But it's more than injuries with the Giants, Mark.
It's definitely more, but like that's just not helping. They're a young team. Like they're playing a lot of rookies, and those teams go through rough times, but they've also lost a lot of snaps from those guys.
I know, but like you do bring it up a lot, Mark. Like injuries are part of football. All teams have to navigate injuries. The Giants, and what's shocking to me as someone who grew up in New York with the Giants being the vanguard for what you want a football team to be, they just internally seem sloppy. And the Abdul Carter situation, Kayvon Thibodeau at times in his career, you have, the firing of the head coach, and then you're firing the DC separately, and the OC is gone, and all that messiness. And then when you make all these mistakes, that's when you're punting on 4th and 8, down 15 with 8 minutes to go, or with 90 seconds on the clock. And Jackson Dart, who, again, this all ties into it, can't stop taking vicious hits from the opposing defense, right? Like somebody's got to get through to this kid. And I just don't trust this organization to be able to preach that, because I don't know if he's listening to anyone in that building right now, because who's in that building that you would respect right now if you're a young hotshot rookie like Jackson Dart? Like he's in that game taking shots with 60 seconds to play, down 18, dropping back to pass. And Vrabel and the Patriots, they're laughing. They're sending the house on 4th and long at midfield with the game over, because they're just like, if you're going to try to get a cheap score on us, we're going to come after your golden boy again. It just, all of it feels like so, especially knowing the history of Giants and Patriots, there's something that I would imagine a Giants fan being very disheartened watching how far apart these organizations are right now.
We talk about this a lot, but like I'm on a thread where there's like 3 Giants fans going absolutely effing crazy about what they're seeing. And it's a low point, but you're right in the sense of the messiness of it, because it's not just this year. It's been that way after they were very Steelers-like. And it's like, we're going to keep a coach for 14 years and he's,
right,
through thick and thin. And it's been a lot of transition. They can't find the right coach. And they haven't been able to find the right quarterback. Maybe they have now, but you're right. Like, it's like the way he plays. And I think it's also, it's youth and it's wanting to make a difference and use your legs to run. I don't hate that, but you're right that like we're losing. These players' careers get truncated when they get knocked out of like 5 games in 2 years. So I don't know. Like, I think that it's weird to watch the Giants be this way because we grew up with them as a completely different organization.
Yeah. And here's the thing about Dart. Dart has hit the scene, and because he's a New York quarterback who had success and he kind of carries himself the way he does, he's got a target on his back. And so on top of him not protecting himself, you get the idea, and you've actually heard opposing players kind of speak to this, like they want to go get him. And that's why it's even more imperative that if Mike Kafka can't do it, somebody's got to do it. Hey kid, when you're on the sideline, if your feet aren't in bounds, you're trying to get 1 extra yard and so it's 3rd 1 instead of 3rd and 2, like they want to knock you out.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like that's part of what that's part of what this is. Like that game earlier in the season, the primetime game against the Eagles, where him and Scattaboo are posing shirtless and going crazy at midfield with social media afterwards. Like all that's fun and exciting, but it's also like, there are people that watch that and they go, okay, we're going to humble that guy. So I think there's a couple of different things that are putting Dart in additional danger. And I agree with you. It's kind of weird to see the Giants be so disheveled organizationally. Anything else from this game?
I do love, I don't agree. I think we're in a world where like with all the analytics stuff, and Greg Olson is going absolutely nuts on it on Twitter over the weekend. And I get it. He's right. Like you're right. And
the Raiders offensive coordinator?
No, I can see that you're right with all this. And I'm on your side with all this, but I love Troy Aikman's utter disdain for analytics. And he brings it up 2 to 3 times a game. And he did tonight. And like, I don't know. It's just a voice. He's not a voice from the past. He's a voice from tonight. But I know that it agitates him, and he's right. Not one to hide his agitation. And I find it slightly delicious.
He's Troy, right? And that's why I don't really watch the Manningcast ever, because I really appreciate the Aikman Buck booth. Which I think is a booth that CBS wishes that Nance and Romo was, where it's 2 guys that clearly
I think you're right.
That's right. Warmth and friendship between them, and you feel that camaraderie every Monday night. But like, yeah, it's funny because it kind of reminds me in Moneyball when we're talking about Moneyball for the second show in a row, but when they're in the conference room and it's a bunch of old stodgy scouts that are like, no, he's good because he hit 300.
What are you talking about? You're going to sign these 2 guys that equal 1 guy.
And then I guess Jonah Hill's character, we're talking about Paul D. Podesta again, or the composite character. He's like, yeah, but Shea Hillenbrand has a 380 on base percentage, and that's more valuable than hitting 280. And they're like, they can't wrap their heads around it. I feel like Troy is one of the older guys in that scene.
Yes, well said.
But I love Troy. Yeah. Troy can do no wrong. The thing that he does, he actually revels in having the opposite viewpoint of all the analytics.
Well, he mentions he's going to get killed for saying it, and he knows he gets it.
He doesn't care. I think that makes him very good at what he does, and he has the pelts on the wall because he's literally f***ing Troy Aikman. All right. Should we take a break and then do some news and then do some power rankings?
Let's take a lush break and really just enjoy ourselves, stretch, and
I feel like I want to go like Renegade Connor and put the Patriots like 28 in my power rankings. Well,
that's the
just
acid
to make
test.
A point.
I want to see after all this unfurling that you've done with your mouth.
I'm not going to do it. And people are just they're gonna clickbait this just to bury me. But I want to underline that the Patriots and the fans have every right to be excited about what's to come in January. I'm not saying they're gonna shit their pants in January when they face a good team. I just can't even remember the last time they played a good team. I feel like they are, as far as 11-2 teams go, not battle tested, not truly battle tested. And I think as a football fan, I'm excited to see it happen. Starting in 2 weeks against the Bills, that's going to be a great game.
One battle after another.
One battle after another. Let's take a break and then get to all that fun stuff. All right, we are back. Have we mentioned we have merch now? The merch sales are going very well, we're told. So thank you to everyone that has already made purchases. And you know, Ceci, with the holiday season coming up,
right?
This is the perfect time as we turn the calendar over to December to get on heedthecallpodcast.com and get exclusive merch for the fan in your life.
Yeah, we get we do some cameos. We reach out to fans. They reach out to us and say, you know, like my boyfriend is like loves the show and cares about you guys and is a loyal listener. Like, what can I do to bring you closer to that person, to that boyfriend? Well, I mean, this is it. This is your avenue.
Get a T-shirt with a giant photo of Marc Sessler's face. I mean, Merry Christmas to you.
Probably be pulled over by the cops at some point, but that's okay. You test that.
Can we talk for a second before we get to news about your shirt right now? I have known you, Mark.
Yeah.
And you know I'm a big music fan.
Uh-huh.
I have known you for 15 years now. And you know how many times I've seen you wear a shirt with a band on it?
Well, you're going to be annoyed at why I'm wearing this.
And not only are you wearing a band shirt,
mm-hmm.
It is a very trendy cult favorite, the Great Joy Division. It's a great T-shirt. I love it. I'm curious the background. I don't remember you talking up Joy Division in the past. Take me through it all.
Well, sir, I would say one thing. Like there's only one nugget on the music side of it. Joy Division's certainly part of my youth, and like I do like them. I would agree to your point that I'm not walking around typically in band shirts, but I am a nerd, and I was watching my favorite podcast on YouTube, Odyssey's. We love Odyssey. Their very own Fly on the Wall with Dana Carvey and David Spade, and they had Mike Myers on. And Mike Myers was wearing this shirt, and it was like a late night impulse buy where I just bought it off of Amazon. I will tell you one thing that annoyed me about that episode, then I'll leave it alone. They also had Paul Myers, his brother, and both of them have white hair, and they almost look like twins. But they spent almost 90% of the episode talking to Paul Myers about his probably wonderful biography that he wrote about John Candy. But it's like, I came here to watch Dana Carvey and Mike Myers.
Wayne and Garth back together.
Yeah, but Mike Myers almost didn't speak, but he was wearing this shirt, so I thought I was inspired to purchase it. So.
You know, that backstory is totally on brand, and it's a great shirt. I actually was at the Cruel World Festival in Pasadena last year, and the headliner on one of the stages was New Order. And if you know music history, Joy Division was fronted by Ian Curtis, who passed away tragically, and then the band broke up and reformed. But different people from the band reformed as New Order, and they went on to have a ton of hits throughout the 80s. And they even played Love Will Tear Us Apart, which is a Joy Division classic.
That's the biggest hit, right?
I always loved that one. Yeah, that was always my favorite song by theirs. But anyway, without further ado, good shirt, Mark.
Thanks. Well, I kind of wore it for you because I kind of was wondering if you would.
I clocked it
radar,
immediately.
So,
Immediately. Like,
and for
I'm right, Justin. We've never seen
you as well.
We've never seen Mark in a band T-shirt, right?
One of my first thoughts when I saw what Mark was wearing is, wow, what a contrast to last night when he had on the blazer and the button down, and now he's got on like a graphic band tee. It's pretty cool.
I mean, he's all over the map.
To be fair, I said I wore that because my laundry was in a terrible place. This new shirt arrived today, and I'm wearing it. So I think that only adds to the concrete, the factual concrete of that concept.
The factual concrete. Yes. And meanwhile, Justin is wearing a Titans hoodie. I've never seen Justin wear anything else but Titans merch. So let's do some news.
Last person to put up this much yards, God rest his soul, was O.J. Simpson. Respectfully.
Respectfully. They pay Cam Newton to go on ESPN and talk.
God rest his soul.
Play that again. Watch Orlovsky.
Last person to put up this much yards, God rest his soul, was O.J.
Orlovsky's
Simpson.
like,
Respectfully.
Did you just say God rest his soul about O.J. Simpson on live television?
What about the wife and the waiter? Like, maybe God should be focused on that.
Maybe not everybody knows this. Yeah. Maybe Cam Newton doesn't know this, but O.J. Simpson was a vicious and habitual domestic abuser who, when he realized that his ex-wife, who he had beaten for years and mentally tormented, wasn't going to get back with him, he ambushed her in front of her home, stabbed her to death with their kids sleeping 20 feet away. And then when a poor waiter named Ronald Goldman showed up to return this woman, Nicole Brown's mother's eyeglasses left at a restaurant, OJ saw that, and he killed that guy too. God rest his soul. God rest his soul.
To be fair, the court says that's not what happened, but that was one of the more botched cases of human history.
Allegedly.
So.
Allegedly. Cam Newton, man. I can't with that dude.
No, he's on a heater, one that we don't need.
It's like a reverse heater for the ages.
Yeah. Reverse broadcasting heater.
It was funny when OJ was like, when he was found not guilty, he's like, I'm going to spend the rest of my life hunting for these killers. And then the first shot the media got of him 2 days later was him playing golf.
Well, it was the sincerity that we, yeah.
Yeah, right. So let's start with the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're in crisis. Let's be real. The fans are calling for the ouster of Mike Tomlin, and this was tucked away in the post game after obviously the disappointing loss on Sunday against the Bills. But Aaron Rodgers told the media afterwards that his teammates, specifically his wide receiver group, has to be a little more plugged in if they're to climb out of this hole they've suddenly found themselves in.
When there's film sessions, everybody shows up. And when I check to a route, you do the right route, Like John and I just weren't on the same page. I checked to his in-breaker, and he ran an out-breaker. John is a true professional, so I'm sure he's sick about that. But, I threw a ball I thought was going to get hit by the wind, and it was 4 yards over Roman. So I got to make that throw. But, we have our meetings every week. We have other opportunities outside of the facility, and look forward to seeing all the boys there.
I want to shellac Rodgers for this, but this guy right now, his nose looks like he's Ben Roethlisberger because he's got a swollen nose. He took a vicious beating in that game. He's playing with a cast on his wrist. He's trying to make this happen for Pittsburgh, and I saw a clip. Ben Solak with ESPN did a nice job breaking down that route, specifically in the red zone where Rodgers checked out of a play, and the two receivers lined up to Jonnu Smith's right, made eye contact, saw Rodgers check into it. It was a play called China that he checked into, holding his hands around his throat, which Solak assumed meant that they was checking into a play called choke. And those other two receivers broke off and changed their routes. Smith didn't. And I would imagine he's bringing that up because this is not the first time this has happened, either with Smith or perhaps other Steelers. And he's trying to, I think, Mark, shake these guys into a sense that time's running out, but things are not lost. There's a chance to get right again. As much as I want to paint this as here's Rodgers being selfish and throwing people under the bus, which I know a lot of people are doing right now, I kind of see this as a veteran quarterback trying to implore his players in any way possible to seize this moment, because at 6-6, they're still tied atop the AFC North.
I totally agree. I mean, in general, you'd rather that exact comment from him comes behind the scenes with the players and the coaches, and we grow without putting it out to the media. In general, in this case, like, we're about a month away from Aaron Rodgers hardcore vanishing into the deep wilds of another nation. Like, he's going to be out of our lives. I don't think he plays after this year. But beyond that, it's like you've got a month for this team to awaken and not just be overtaken in a bad division by a hot and cold Ravens team. So I don't have a problem putting this out there that way. I think he also did not put Jonnu Smith on blast the way that you would in some cases. He called him a professional. It's like, let's work together. I know that he was upset about that too. We've got to course correct this. They had 2 completions to wide receivers, I believe, in the first half. We need more, and you've got to find a way to become more explosive on offense. And there was another part of that whole press conference where he talked about, and it's a little tedious, but it was Packers receivers of old. And you always knew that Rodgers was pretty verbally and visually you could see when he was annoyed with a wide receiver on any team he's been on, right? Any year that like if things weren't detailed and detail oriented, he would be quick to correct and to show you that he was annoyed. I have no problem with it. Like this team is falling apart offensively, and that's not his level of play. Even if he's not the same Aaron Rodgers, like at least be detailed and do what we talk about, practice and play the way that you want, and use these last 4 weeks to get this done, or do not.
Yeah, and Rodgers also, he said some of his throws could have been a lot better in the game. So it's not like the way it was presented in certain areas of social media was that it was just him blaming others, but he blamed himself too. And everything he does, for better or worse, is very calculated. So for him to make it a public thing, I would think it puts even more pressure on these guys to lock in. And I think that was his intention more than anything else. But yeah, if you remember a couple weeks ago, Mike Tomlin kind of called Rodgers out, when somebody asked about the quarterback play, and he's like, I think, you could ask him about that. We know it wasn't up to the standard. It was something along those lines. Rodgers is doing the same thing with his wide receivers. What do you got, Justin?
I think Tomlin said something like, what did you think of the quarterback play today? And he said, what did you think?
Right.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of frustration in that building.
Yes.
And Rodgers, as a 21-year veteran, carries a bigger stick than almost any player in the league at this point. So I don't know. I hold him to a different standard from that. See, and you thought because I'm a Jet fan, you would think I would just ambush Rodgers there. I didn't do that.
No, you've got
I didn't do that.
There's just incredible integrity flowing
I
off
wouldn't
you.
go that far. But in this case, I got his back. Anyway, Andy Reid, how about this? We talked about it when we showed the standings at the end of the flagship show. The Chiefs are in a lot of trouble because the Broncos are too far gone, barring an epic collapse, to get the division. So their only path is the wild card, and they might have to win out at this stage to get that final to get a wild card spot. Andy Reid was asked if the Chiefs can do that and make the playoffs.
What's your level of confidence that you can win these next 5 games in a row?
Yeah, well, I believe that. I mean, I believe if you're coming to me on this, Matt, I'm telling you, we're going to go after you every game. And, that's how we roll. We're going to try to tickle your tonsils on every play, every game.
Huh?
It brings up other images. I understand what he's
What did he
attempting
say?
to say there.
We're gonna try to tickle your tonsils. Is that about like a tongue kiss? What does that mean?
I think it could mean multiple things. That's one option.
Is it a graphic?
It could mean that.
Is this like a baby boomer? Let me see. I'm gonna look this up. Tickle your tonsils.
Maybe it's like when
Justin,
the doctor
where you come
shoves the tongue stick down to like take a peek into your throat, and maybe that tongue stick goes a little too far into your mouth. It's just like, we're going to make you feel slightly uncomfortable for 5 seconds. Maybe that's what it means.
Let's see.
It's a good option.
Thanks.
Tickle your tonsils is an American football colloquialism. That's a tough word. You want to try it? Colloquialism? Colloquialism.
Yeah.
Meaning
Mariota.
to play Mariota. To play aggressive, exciting, or complex football. That's AI slop. I don't know. Zumal probably likes it, but that's just saying Andy Reid made something up.
I don't think it's a football anecdote at all.
I don't either.
Mariota.
That's what you get for Googling something and then looking at the first result.
In these ages, yes.
Anyway, they're going to play their hardest and hope to win, but I don't think they will. I think this team has been showing us all season long that they've got another stumble or two in them. I believe that, and I think they'll be on the outside looking in. And if they do get in, that will mean that they got very hot and we'll have a totally different viewpoint of the Chiefs come early January. It'll be fun to see it play out. Not fun times at the Patullo household in Philadelphia. Well, actually, this was in, I guess, South Jersey. The Eagles offensive coordinator under fire with the Philadelphia offense stuck in neutral for much of this season. He had his house egged Still doing eggs, huh? His house was egged after their Friday loss to the Bears. Let's check in on this. Ooh, it's a nice house.
Aren't you going to get caught if you film yourself doing that?
It does feel like a stupid thing to do, but these are probably grown men. It's probably like 38-year-old men.
Right.
With their like wives and kids at home in bed, drunkenly throwing eggs at a football coach's house because the big team lost the game on Friday. I mean,
it's I you know, it made me think of something like, well, first of all, like, you suck if you did this. Like, it's not that funny. It's not that interesting. Eggs are a smart thing to throw at a house compared to other things. I will give them that. But like, as a youth, there was a time that I remember, and we've all done something like this, but a bunch of us pulled up to a friend that we were fake friends with. We weren't really nice to him and did something like that to his house. And I still think about it like once a month, like, what the
yeah,
F?
because you know the friend's not the one that's trying to hose that shit off the house. It's the poor dad or the mom or whatever.
Well, also just like, who am I? What am I doing? Like, who are you? You're right.
Mark, you've grown a lot as a man. You're now a man in a Joy Division T-shirt.
I'm not egging the house of an offensive coordinator who's struggling. Like, I will, at least in that sense, I feel like I am. Thank you.
I got egged once. It was the last.
Housed.
Yeah, I personally was egged once. The last year I ever went trick-or-treating, it was me and Bob. And we were, it was right on that edge. I think we were either 12 or 13. It must have been 13, which is maybe a little too old at that point, right? But went trick-or-treating. I was dressed as Don Mattingly, the Yankees legend. And these these bullies that were hanging out by the local Walgreens, real skids, hanging out in their Metallica shirts, smoking darts, and they kind of saw us, and then they were kind of stalking us like prey. And at some point they got to a higher vantage point. I can't remember what it was exactly, but a couple of eggs started raining down on Bob and I. And then I heard that from a distance, the guy goes, "Mattingly sucks," which was a bridge too far. I can't remember if they got us, but they came close. So that's my story of egging. And I don't think that was mature either. Local skids.
Well, it seems I would understand why. I would also think you're leaving some part of this out where you and Bob, in terms of, you guys are mischief makers. You probably said something or did something that got the bullies up in arms.
No. If it was in the newspaper, the headline would be "Area Dirtbags Target Innocent Teens."
We talk football?
We'll leave it there.
Sure. It was football. Yeah, gravy that tied into Patullo getting his house egged.
It does. That's a terrible. It is a football story.
How about the size of that house? Make me an OC, baby.
That's why I waited till the end when you're laughing and wrapping up to hit the drop. It's more a joke than an actual prod.
Thank you, Justin. I wonder what Big Dom's house looks like.
Oh, it's massive.
It's got to be bigger than Patullo's, right?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Wonder how much money is hidden in the walls. There's all sorts of crazy shit going on at Big Dom's house.
DeSandro, Big Dom, and he's sort of a legend.
Can I ask you a question? Give me the first number that comes to your mind, Mark, okay?
Mm-hmm.
How many guns does Big Dom have in his house?
26.
How many hand grenades?
2.
Both are the right answers. On the flip side of life, Ben Johnson, after he and the rest of the Chicago Bears dispatched the mighty Eagles on Friday night, had an incredible post-game celebration in the locker room. Johnson stripped his shirt off, and that went viral, as you know it would. Mark commented on his body several times. It's good. It's a nice body on a man who works at it. Here was Ben Johnson when asked about his shirtless post-game celebration.
My wife was just laughing. That's about it. Yeah, I guess my 2-year-old was watching the TV screen back at home, and she's like, no shirt, no shirt. She just pointed at the screen, no shirt, no shirt. And my wife had no idea what was going on. So that's really about how that went. You know, I think anytime you get a chance to feed a city, you want to do it. So man of the people.
Justin, can we get some context on that feed the city line?
Yes, so the iconic Chicago hot dog stand called the Wieners Circle a few weeks ago, or they had actually promised free hot dogs to anyone who stopped by after Caleb Williams had a 4-touchdown day against the Cowboys. They said, come by, we'll give out free hot dogs. And then a few weeks later, they said, I guess it was last month, they said, if Ben Johnson takes off his shirt in celebration after any win this season, we'll do the free hot dog thing again. So the Ben Johnson taking off his shirt moment wasn't just like, I'm hot, I want to get hyped up and show off my hot body just for the hell of it. It was like, all right, that was an awesome win. Let's give the city some free hot dogs.
Okay.
I don't know what to add to that.
No, the vibes are good in Chicago. No doubt about it.
By the way, just because I comment, I know it's always like, oh, Mark's commenting on the body of a man or a male.
Yeah.
But it's like kind of colon, get to the gym.
Yeah, but it's
like,
you know what? It's like, I don't know. And it's fine. You're secure in your sexuality. It's 2025. It's not a judgment.
Secure.
I'm not judging you. I just do. When you see a man's physique that you find impressive, there's kind of a little glint in your eye. Like there's something that really, who was it the previous week that you were head over heels for? Vrabel. You were gaga-eyed about Vrabel. And now it's Ben Johnson, and that's good.
Well, I don't have a huge argument against what you're saying. It's inspiration for one's own physical form to improve.
I think you look good, Mark. A man of your age, especially. Tremendous.
Well, it helps that no one can see below, like
right.
where the Joy Division title is on the shirt. But sure.
I was going to say something, but I'm not going to say it. All right. Now, finally, AFC South Heat. Jaguars punter Logan Cook. The punter. Apparently threatened to kill Titans running back Julius Chestnut during Sunday's game, which led to a skirmish on the field. This is right out of the Robert Saleh handbook, who threatened to kill a man and apologized for it earlier this season. Liam Cohen, very clearly a weirdo. I'd be curious to know his thoughts on such a thing, and let's see what he had to say when asked about Logan Cook allegedly threatening to kill an opposing running back.
I've probably heard that said 100 times, from players in games, so whatever.
26, and the 49ers 21.
That is, oh, that's right. It was Liam Cohen who Robert Saleh threatened to kill. Oh my God, what a small world of death threats.
Amazing. I just like that there's someone named Julius Chestnut in America, but
right.
I don't know. Liam Cohen looks like 8 friends I had in 3rd grade in that video right there, but I kind of think he's sort of right. Like crazy stuff's happening out there on the field, right?
Oh yeah, man. It's a real
Duval.
It's like a Roman Coliseum out there, bro.
That's exactly right.
All right, let's take a break and hit power rankings.
Unless you've got power!
Farbuck.
With great power comes great responsibility.
They got powers, yeah!
Then when you get the money, you get the power.
Category orange incident.
The power behind the power.
Now you're playing with power.
According to Dan Hanzus' power ranking.
Thank you, Paul Rudd. Heed the call, the official power rankings of record, except no substitutes. We are now into December. It is It is nut cutting time, Sess Dog.
Yes, that's how I'd put it.
So we're going to go through all 32 teams in the league here at nut cutting time in the NFL calendar, starting with Tier 1, the tier you want your team to be in. And let's see where they all come down. All right. Oh, look at Sessler. I knew you would get sucked in.
Not just me.
They beat the 5 worst teams in football. And
not just me.
Well, wins are wins. This is the power rankings, not the power standings. Anyway, the Rams are still the number 1 team in the NFL because we don't get caught up in one bad week. As you said, Justin, and shout out to Connor, who also understood the assignment. The 3 turnovers that the Rams had against the Panthers were all in Panthers territory. That was a blink away from another 40-burger by LA. They stubbed their toe and lose. They're still the best team in football, and that's why they're number 1 in the power rankings, even though Cessy and Gravy have them at number 2. Right behind them, the Seattle Seahawks. They shut out the Vikings. The offense looks a little rough. And by the way, returning to heed the call on Wednesday, our friend, Michael Sean Dugar will join us to talk Seahawks and the madness of the NFC playoff picture. Yes, can't wait to see Money Mike. Maybe bring Money Mike back. We'll get him to give people some props for the rest of the season. Number 3 is the New England Patriots. And like I said, I ain't buying. Not yet. I got them at number 5. They're a top 5 team, but I'm not going to make them number 1. Sessler, he made them number 1. Gravy, he gets sucked in too. Connor has them at number 3, but the average puts them at number 3 in our power rankings.
Well, there's a team that you have above them that I find quizzical based on your own response to that team, and we'll get to that in a couple minutes here.
Okay. Yes.
Also,
Justin?
can you explain dropping them 1 spot? I know they haven't played anyone really competitive since the Bills, but they also have basically wiped the floor with every team that they have played.
Yeah, they are officially being penalized now for not playing any real football teams. And
I think that
if they and that's how I do it, and I am the voice of reason of the power rankings, you could do it however you want. And if they go and they spank the Bills coming out of the bye in week 15.
They already spanked the Bills.
They beat the Bills. I'm saying if they spank the Bills again, I will put them up at either 3-2 or 1. We'll see how it all shakes out.
Well, you're floating into your own universe here, and that's part of the
you
the
have
practice.
to understand. Not all of us just go by the record. You have to look at who they're playing.
You should be on the college football playoff committee. I just love everything you just said, and I hope the committee treats Texas the way that you don't just. You got to be rewarded for playing good teams and penalized for playing bad teams, and not just look at the record. Thank you.
All right. That was out of left field, but okay. Good luck to the Longhorns. Anyway, so the Patriots are at 3. The Packers, I moved the Packers up into the top 3 personally. They come in at number 4 in our rankings. The rest of the gang had them at number 5. I guess I'm a little more impressed by what we've been seeing in the last few weeks.
Well, you're impressed with your own rankings, is what you're impressed with.
Yeah, of course. They're impeccable.
Yeah.
But the Packers are playing a great brand of football. Their defense has been excellent. Micah Parsons has taken over games, and now Jordan Love is coming off an incredible game on Thanksgiving. I just love everything about the Packers right now. They're at number 4 in our rankings. Number 5 is the Buffalo Bills, up 3 spots. The Packers are up 5 spots, by the way. The Bills up 3 spots to number 5 after their impressive, gritty win over the Steelers. Then the Denver Broncos. Now, Mark doesn't like the Broncos. He has a personal issue with the Broncos.
No, they're
and
boring.
Despite the Broncos having a record that is, what is it, the same as the Patriots?
One less win because
because the Patriots haven't had their bye yet. Mark, because he doesn't like the nature of the Broncos wins, has them all the way down at 10. Oh, Farbuck's not going to like that. I'm going to have to.
Like when you were, like in high school and like there was like someone of the opposite sex, whoever you're listening, whatever you care about, like, but like
or same sex.
Everyone was like all.
Doesn't necessarily happen.
Sure, everyone was like into this person, you were like, I don't see it. Like, this is I guess I'm just, Connor had him at 7, but I'm not seeing it. 4, you have them above the Patriots. Dan, that feels a little wild to me.
Why?
Because the way I do this is like, I think to myself, like, Patriots play Denver. In Denver or in New England, who do I think wins? And it's New England. I can't come up with a reason why.
Yeah, but you have, okay, that's fine, Mark. But it's like, you have New England at 1. They both have 2 losses. You have New England at 1, and you have the Broncos at 10. You think there's that much of a difference between those two teams, like based on what?
This will be like an area where Farbuck will come probably rolling in, because it does look like an outlier compared to the rest of the group. I can accept that, but I just go with my heart.
I just want to say, as much as the Broncos at times will frustrate people because they let teams hang around or they take too long to wake up, they also have wins at Philadelphia. They have a win over the Cowboys, at Houston, win over the Chiefs. They have signature wins that the Patriots have maybe 1 or 2 at tops. I just can't see that big a difference between those two teams. I can't buy into that, Mark.
That's what's great. We'll find out. But I see, like, hi, nice time in a playoff game. Bye-bye.
Okay.
We saw you for 4 more quarters in January, and then you vanished into thin air.
Gotcha. All right, number 7, we got the Bears. We're pretty much in lockstep. They're up 4 spots. Welcome to the top 10 to the Chicago Bears. I know Bears fans have been waiting for this moment, and you have earned it. And here you are, riding a long winning streak. Good for you. Number 8, we're all buying in on the Niners. They're back in Tier 1. It's been a while. Up 4 spots to number 8. Now to Tier 2. I can't believe that. I can't believe that about the Broncos, Sessy. I mean, I feel like you got
to move on.
Like, I know Sessy I so well that I could picture him actually big mad watching Sunday night football and just being pissed that, the Broncos got away with one again.
Or that it went to overtime.
Or and it went to overtime and we had to stay up an extra hour. Like, I get that. And but 10.
Well, what's the difference between them and some of these other teams? 10 is not that. In this NFL today, I'm not,
No, okay. Number 9 in the power rankings is the Philadelphia Eagles, down 5 spots. Look at that. And we're all in lockstep. We're all like, hey, Eagles, we're having questions. I got them at 10. Connor's got them at 10. Justin's got them at 10. Mark's got them at 9. And by the way, if this slump continues, I swear to God, all you people out there that gave me relentless shit about Nick Sirianni, if you join the mob calling for his dismissal and saying how he's not good at his job and he's overrated and he's been held up by his coordinators, if you turn on him after burying me in August for having the balls to have that take when they are defending champions, I will track you down. What did the punter say? I'll kill your ass.
Justin, this show is simply an unleashing of Dan's slights and checking in on Dan's slights.
No, that one specifically. I'm already sensing the mob starting to turn on this one, and it's like people were very angry with me about having that take in August, put it that way.
If you wind up being right, or let's say this is the end, if something happens here and they collapse, I'd have to tip my cap if I had one. If I were wearing a cap, I would tip it to you.
You would doff it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see. There's a long way to go, and maybe he is Vince Lombardi, but I don't know. Look at this. The Lions. We have finally dinged the Lions, but I'm dinging them harder than you guys. I have them in my twilight zone at this point because I just don't know what to make of them anymore. I just don't know what to make of the Detroit Lions. Connor and Justin have them at 9. Mark has them at 8, and I get that. Like, I'm not going to go crazy about this one, and say that I think you guys are way off, because you can make the case that they are still like a top 8 team. But I just think there's something wrong with the Lions. Just like I think there's something off in the mix, in the stew for Philadelphia. And this is the first week where I had to kind of stand down a little bit. You could say something similar about the Chiefs. They still have the pedigree that the Lions don't. So we've kind of kept them in the top 10 and thereabouts all season, even when they were struggling. But this week they fell out of the top 10. They're at number 11 in the HTC Power Rankings. I had them at 11. Speaking of Twilight Zone, Mark, Justin, and Connor all have them at 13.
They feel like that perfect 13 team to me.
They are tough to figure out. The Dallas Cowboys, they are up 2 spots. I thought they would move up a little bit more, to be quite honest with you. After the Eagles come back and then doing what they did on Thanksgiving, I thought that they would get a little more juice. I put them in my top 10, but Mark, you have them at 15, Connor at 15. That's a pretty big difference. We're 6 spots different there. Justin splitting the difference at 11. They come in at 12. Why do you, where did you have them last week, Mark?
They keep rising for me.
16
I'd have to go
last
check
week.
that, but
wow,
16.
Mark.
That's like, sometimes you're looking at this, you're like,
but that doesn't see that. I'm a little worried. Farbeck again, man. Some of the things you were saying about the Cowboys after the Chiefs game, they just beat both Super Bowl champions, and they move up 1 spot. You were singing their praises as loud as anyone after that game.
well, Connor and I both have them at 15. I don't have a problem with them at 15. I believe in that, but I think they've got a chance to rise as much as any team in this group and maybe into the top group soon. I mean, 9 is a little rich, but I think that we're just
But I'm not judging it on
see.
6, 5, and 1 again, and I think that's a little bit what's happening here. Like you're telling
I'm
me
not going by record at
by
all.
your
Like, I don't do
rankings,
this
you're
by
saying
record.
right now where the Cowboys are and the way they're playing, there's 14 teams you think that you put ahead of them. That's tough for me to. That's a tough one for me. 14 teams are better than the Cowboys right now.
Yes. I also would say that there aren't miles from east to west between each of these teams. They're clumped together. There is no great team right now. And the Cowboys can go and beat the Eagles and the Chiefs. I don't necessarily think they're better than the Eagles or Chiefs if those two teams are functioning at the highest possible level, but that just happened.
Our actual number 13 team, our official Twilight Zone team, is the Chargers, who are up 2 spots and continue to march upward, even if Justin Herbert, by the way, he did have that surgery, that hand surgery, to repair a broken bone. He is listed as day-to-day, if you'd believe that, and I believe they play on Monday Night Football, so they get an extra day, so they catch a break there, and there's a chance that Herbert plays in Week 14, which is wild.
Against
Kind of
the Eagles.
Against the Eagles. Wow. He's not missing that game. Herbert's a warrior. He's not missing the defending champs. Expect him on that field. The Jaguars up 3 spots to number 14. Wow, Sessler, you and I are very different this week. You have them all the way up to number 11. I am just not a believer in this team yet. I'm still not there, even though they have a very good record and they technically lead their division. I have them at 17. Justin, who's our resident AFC South expert, I feel good about this because Justin also has them at 17. Connor has them at 12. They come in at 14 overall. Justin, you want to chime in on that one?
Well, I think people are going to say, "Oh, you're a hater because you're a Titans fan. You're biased." But it's just like they are very up and down, inconsistent. I need them to be good for a longer stretch and not just beat the Titans before I buy in again. Because I was bought in early in the year, but I feel like there's such a turnover-dependent defensive team that I don't know. We'll see, I guess.
I will say one that Connor and I seem to be. You're right, Dan. You and I don't think there's been a week where we've been as farly removed on some of these as this, but Connor and I keep operating from the same pew.
Well, that's either a good thing or a bad thing. You guys we'll figure it out. We'll see how things look next week.
But just don't throw the baby out. I mean, it's not, Farbuck comes, I know it's going to happen with all this, but it's like, he's got to come at Connor too, not just Mark. That's probably where I'm more comfortable.
We don't even know if Farbuck's alive. I mean, the assumption
it's been
that
a while.
Farbuck is going to be on the, I mean, certainly there are certain things here that would pique his interest, put it that way, if there was a tip that were sent his way. But let's see, the Texans up 1 spot. We're again not in the same area on that mark. If I look at the AFC South right now, what I'm seeing from the Texans is a lot more impressive than what I'm seeing from the Jaguars. I have them at 12 in my list. You have them at 16. Justin at 14, Connor at 16 as well. The Colts, is this the biggest drop of the week, Justin?
It's tied for the
Okay,
biggest
they're
drop
number
of the week.
16 in the power rankings, down 6 spots. So this team that, I don't know, they might have been number 1 at some point in these rankings or close to it. Now they're all the way down to the bottom of tier 2. Connor's still keeping the faith. He has them at number 11, but the rest of us are all in this area. Let's move to tier 3. Tier 3, things start to get especially murky in our league, starting with, there they are, the Carolina Panthers, up 3 spots. I had originally talked about putting the Panthers in the Twilight Zone 13 slot, but then I started going through it all, and I just feel like, I don't know, like I got to see more than like 1 week of inspired play. I got to see them put it together for a few weeks, and I think everybody kind of agrees because we have them in a similar spot.
Yeah.
Number 18. Okay, this has got what a wild Sessler week this is. You got the Bucs still in the top 12. You have them at 12, despite them giving you every amount of evidence over the last month that they are not a true contender. But you love Baker, so you have
they're
them at
getting
12.
healthy. I think they're getting players back, and there's a kind of zest and zeal to them that inspires me.
Zest and zeal's cool, Sessy, but there's also the business of getting their asses trounced by all the actual good teams that we've seen in the last month.
Oh, I don't know about trounced, but like I think you're right. They've been through a rough road. We'll find out if I'm right or wrong.
Yeah,
12 is not. I don't shy away from where I put these teams. I believe it from within.
Let's see. Yeah, I mean, 28-23 Patriots, 44-32 Bills, 34-7 against the Rams, and then they held off the Cardinals.
Rams was a disaster. Bills got ugly late, nearly beat the Patriots, which doesn't mean much to anyone in the room here, but they're hanging around.
All right. They were getting beat 28-16 by the Patriots until they scored a touchdown with 30 seconds on the clock, just for the record. But okay. But that doesn't make my own point about the Patriots being fake, so we'll take that out in post. All right, let's see. The Ravens are down 6 spots also as they continue to just fight through things. Lamar Jackson just not being himself is a major reason why I have him at 20. Justin, you have him at 16, so you have a little more faith in them at this point. Connor and Mark have them right in between there. The Bengals have a big Thanksgiving night win. They get Joe Burrow back, and as a result, they're up 4 spots to number 20.
Behind the team they just beat. That's okay. I'm cool with it.
It's okay.
That doesn't matter.
That's okay. That's because you can't just because that's another folly of power rankings criticism that head-to-head matchups mean everything. No, it's a broader view on the teams, and yeah, the Cincinnati had a nice night. Let's see what they can do, and if they can get any momentum, or if they're kind of like the Panthers as well. The Dolphins, credit to Connor Orr. Yeah, with Connor Orr he's got his hot take about Miami stealing a playoff spot potentially, but he has them right with the rest of us in the 21. He has them
the lowest.
Yeah, he actually has. Well, that's Connor. He's the best. Let's see. The Steelers. We're all down on the Steelers, down 3 spots to number 22. The Cardinals do what the Cardinals do, which is hang around and lose. They actually move up 2 spots, though.
I think other teams just rot, if you want to use an 80s term.
I'm not going to go crazy about that. The Commanders, they fight hard and lose on an island game, which gets us all a little, doughy in the pants. And as a result, they're up 4 spots because they almost beat the Broncos. Let's move to tier 4, the sad tier, the place you don't want to be. Oh, Minnesota Vikings, welcome to tier 4. Down 2 spots after a harrowing loss in Seattle. Let's see, the Atlanta Falcons, they just got beat by the Jets, so that cost you 4 spots. Oh, break out the New York Jets, up 2 spots to number 27. Sessler doesn't want to give it up. Sessler won't do it. He's got him down at 28. I got him up at 25. Connor at 26, Justin at 27. They come in at 27, up 2 spots, creeping up the board.
I had to balance you out.
They're creeping up the board. Do you know that the Jets have lost a grand total of 2 games in the last 6 weeks?
And about 250 games in the last 6 years. So, I mean,
you're once again showing your lack of power rankings etiquette. That has nothing to do with the exercise.
Yeah, but you're pointing to their win-loss record over the last 6 weeks.
No, I'm saying they're playing a lot better in the last 6 weeks, certainly compared to all these garbage bags around them. The Giants, for instance, after a trouncing on Monday night, Sessler impossibly has them at 25. The rest of us see what's happening here. 29, 30, and 28, down one spot to number 28. The Browns.
Can I sign off?
The Browns are down 3 spots. The Browns stink, but they got a great defense. That's why I have them.
I'm going to get my sack back.
I have them out of the 30s, but they are 29. And then no movement. Saints 30, Titans 31, and the Raiders. Wait a second, Justin. Stop it, Justin.
They are the worst team. The Raiders beat the Titans by 2 scores.
Stop it. That's when?
Week 6. 6. Yeah.
This is the Week 14 power rankings.
Yes. But
oh, my God. We're going to get far booked here.
The Titans were the worst team in the league.
I think the Raiders also beat the Patriots in Week 1.
What was the result of so the Titans, because they took a step back, you wanted to punish them and make them 32 again. But the Raiders you have them at 31. The rest of us, that was our only chance for a Connect 4 this week.
Yeah.
And you wanted to give them some fan tough love, so you moved them up a spot. That's all right.
Well, I wasn't going to
you're frustrated.
Get all your rankings in and be like, ooh, let me redo my personal rankings so we have 2 Connect 4s at the very end.
We don't want to do that. No, we're not saying that. Yeah. We're not saying that.
Yeah, that's
it's
not the way we do this.
If you talk to 100 people that know ball right now, I feel like 99 of them are going to say the Raiders are the worst team in football right now, and then just gravy.
I think that's because they have a little bit more visibility because they're a historic great franchise. So everyone's got keyed in on the fact that they're bad. But the Titans just lost 25-3 to a division opponent. They were god awful. That's worse than the Raiders lost this weekend. So,
all right, that's the power rankings for Week 14. What a ride this one was.
Yeah, I'm
exhausted.
I feel there's going to be some response to this.
We'll be back on Wednesday with Michael Sean Dugar. How about that? Talking about the state of the fiercely competitive NFC and what happens, Mark, when you seek to avoid the Darnold hive, as Mike did, and then the hive comes to you and builds around you. Sam Darnold.
Terrible spot
of the Seattle Seahawks.
Terrible spot.
We'll see what that feels like.
Yeah, it's also work. It's his work, and it's You're in it day after day, whether you want to be or not. You can't disengage. He's got a young child.
We're gonna have to really dig into that.
Yeah,
with Mike. All right, thanks to everybody for watching and listening. And remember the 30K challenge. You get us to 30K subscribers on YouTube, and we're closing in. We're getting closer and closer to that mark. You know what's going to happen. Connor Orr shares the Sean Payton story of ill will between the two men, and you don't want to miss it. So what do they got to do, Mark?
Well, you've got to smash that like button.
Smash it.
You got to attack it.
You got to attack it. You got to be vicious with it. Show no mercy.
Spirit.
Yes. All right. Everybody have a great night and a lovely tomorrow. Till next time, heed the call.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than just Peyton Manning. I'm also motivating Manning. When I say insurance, you say financial services. Insurance.
Financial services.
Insurance.
Financial services.
Now when I say Nationwide, you say is both. Nationwide.
Is both.
Nationwide.
Is both.
For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs, with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Their purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.